Tim Hebert talked to me a while back about coming here today, and he said that this year's theme was going to be about resiliency. And he said, Trent, you have a resilient story, you should come and talk. And I never really thought of myself as resilient. I never thought of myself as a resilient person until the moment I had to become one. More than education, more than experience, more than training, the level of resiliency in a person will determine how much they succeed or if they fail. 15 years ago, I was in an accident, which left me paralyzed. It changed my life instantly. I went kayaking one night after work, and it was a night just like this. Full moon was out. And while I was kayaking, I heard a boat behind me. I took my paddle above me, and I start waving it behind me. Hey, hey! And the boat doesn't veer off its course. And so I think the best way to survive is to go under the water. And so I roll over and I go under the water, and I make one large breaststroke pull. And that's when I got hit by the boat. I'm under the water, it's dark, and I've lost sense of direction. And I'm trying to assess where I am, and I can't move my left arm, and I can't move my legs. And I make my way to the surface. The boat turns around, comes towards me, and they find me, and they take me in. With a spinal cord injury, your life changes in a second, and everything you knew is gone. It was while I was there in the hospital, I started to try to figure out what did I want to do with the rest of my life. And I created a list. I created a list of things I wanted to do, and many of you folks might know these type of lists. They call them bucket lists, and I think bucket lists are a bad name because it implies that you're going to die. So I was making this list because there were things that I wanted to do because I was going to live. So instead of calling a bucket list, I called them coming attractions. My coming attractions. Here are my coming attractions. I wanted to walk. I wanted to climb a flight of stairs. I wanted to lift Haley and Max, my 2 children. I wanted to drive to work and go to work. I wanted to have sex with my wife. I wanted to go to the Red Sox. I wanted to run a marathon. I wanted to climb a skyscraper. I wanted to do the Ironman. And I wanted to do some type of unprecedented swim, and I really didn't know what at the time. Tim Hebert came up and he talked about people that are resilient have 3 primary qualities. They accept their reality. They have a purpose. And they have an uncanny ability to improvise. Those 3 qualities are in resilient people. And I believe that they're in all of us when the circumstances are right. I also believe that they exist in companies. The community of you working in your company can be highly resilient. The culture of a company can be very resilient. The sum of its parts are very resilient. There's a difference between something that's hard and something that's resilient, because hard work is hard. Resilient you do for other purposes. Resiliency is wanting to do things in life for other people. So I decided those first 9 items on my list, I did for myself. But the 10th item on the list, I wanted to do for other people. And I decided the swim I was going to do was to Block Island from Point Judith, and I was going to swim it entirely backstroke as a show of solidarity for people with spinal cord injuries. And I'm nervous, and I am scared, but I'm determined to face this. I was there because I got out of the wheelchair. I was there to help those people that didn't. And it gave me what I needed inside to be resilient, to take on the waves, to take on the currents that day. We made the Block Island with 150 yards to spare. Resiliency is about facing your adversity, understanding where you are, having a purpose, having an ability to improvise. And I think that exists in all of us. When the circumstances are right. Is this in you? It exists in your coworkers? Resiliency is a reflex. But most importantly, when you're faced with that adversity, you have to act. You have to act then. You have to act now. You cannot wait. There is no day but today to take the actions you need to. Don't put off for tomorrow what can be done today. Carpe diem. Thank you very much for letting me share my story with you. I hope that you enjoy the rest of this conference. Thank you so much. Thank you.